These first 5 episodes of the Shaker African American Oral History Project podcast were made possible by a generous donor. We greatly appreciate your support. Welcome to the first episode of the Shaker African American Oral History Project podcast. This project has been a long time coming. The goal of this project is to document the history and community stories of African American families and former residents of Shaker Heights, Ohio. My parents, Samuel and Maddie Malone, were among the first African American families to move into the historic Ludlow neighborhood in Shaker Heights, Ohio in 1960. Growing up in Shaker and living in the Ludlow neighborhood, I was exposed to amazing people with amazing stories. I loved my street, Albion Road, and I knew all of my neighbors in every house. I look forward to sharing this history with you. My guest today is Mrs. Ann Hunter Rosemond. She was the first African American to graduate from Ludlow Elementary School, Shaker Junior High, now Woodbury, and the Shaker High School in 1950. She participated in many clubs and activities, and in 9th grade, she was recognized by the New York Herald Tribune for having the best book review. In high school, she was a member of the French Club, Fortnightly Club, choir, where she was a soloist, and the Public Address Club. She was an usher at the historic Caramoo House and studied piano and music theory for 12 years at the Cleveland Institute of Music. At the end of her 8th grade year, she was joined by Burl Hannon, who graduated with Ann in 1950. Educator, historian, trailblazer, history maker. Mrs. Hunter continues to be active and engaged in our community. For 27 years, she has been a member of the Antioch Baptist Church, where she is a choir member and junior church pianist. Before joining Antioch, she was a member of Mount Zion Congregational Church for 53 years. She is a member of the Eliza Bryant Auxiliary and the Women's Allied Arts. She enjoys bowling, reading African American history, and poetry writing. Mrs. Rosemond still lives in the historic Ludlow neighborhood with her daughter Victoria and son Vincent. She has been a resident of the Ludlow neighborhood for 83 years. In 2022, a historic marker was installed on the Hampton Road in Ludlow by the Cleveland Restoration Society as part of the Cleveland Civil Rights Trail. Welcome, Mrs. Rosemond, and thank you for being our very first guest for the first episode of the Shaker African American Project.
You're welcome.
It's so nice. It's been a long time coming.
Right.
So my first question is, we have a lot to cover, so tell me about your parents.
My parents were both college educated. My mother was a preacher's daughter from Raleigh, North Carolina. Her father, Perfect DeBerry, got his training at Talladega College. My mother's name was Pally DeBerry. She hated her name because it was so different from other people. Her father, Perfect DeBerry, was one of 6 boys and 1 girl. The girl got prizes for her beautiful body and hair. Unfortunately, she died at age 21, and the sons were told that the first one who had a girl should name her Pally DeBerry. That's how she got her name. When my mother had me, she was determined that I would have a very plain name, not like hers. So she named me Ann after her oldest sister, Annie Tribble, who lived in Kings Mountain, North Carolina.
Well, I like Ann because my name is Carol Ann Malone. My middle name is Ann.
Oh, okay.
My middle name is Ann.
Annie was a school teacher, and her husband was a barber, and they were the most well-to-do people in that town.
Wow. Now, what neighborhood did your parents move to Shaker from?
They moved from the Fairfax neighborhood when I was 10 years old to Ludlow.
Wow. Now, where was your father's dentist office, and where did your mother work as a social worker?
My father's office was East 55th Street, and my mother, who had gotten her master's from Western Reserve,
Wow.
worked at Aid for Dependent Children for the county.
I remember when they called it Aid for the...
She was the first black to get her master's in that field.
At Case Western Reserve?
Right.
Wow, she was the first. That's major history. Major.
Right.
As the only black child at Ludlow Elementary School and one of two black children at the junior high and high school, how did you and your parents navigate the racism you faced from some students, teachers, and administrators?
Can you repeat?
Sure. How did you guys deal with the racism once you moved into this neighborhood?
When someone said something sarcastic, I would either reply with a sarcastic remark or ignore it.
Yeah, and that's still going on. We still have to ignore nonsense. I had to ignore some nonsense at my 50th reunion this past weekend as well. So I understand. So did you have a favorite teacher?
At Ludlow, my favorite teacher was Margaret Marshall.
Mrs. Marshall. I had Mrs. Marshall. I had her in 5th grade.
Right.
Yeah.
She liked my themes so much that my next door neighbor, when she had Miss Marshall, said that she had saved my theme. I wrote a theme about the boogeyman of Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh, wow.
When I went to visit my great-grandmother. That was such a thrill to me. She was 83 years old.
Wow.
She lived to be 99. She had 12 children.
Wow. Well, you know, my parents went to Alabama A&M, and that's in Huntsville.
Right.
That's in Huntsville, Alabama. Now, what were some of your favorite subjects and activities in school?
Music, art, literature, library.
Yeah.
The library was next door to our room with Miss Marshall.
Yeah.
And they taught us that, she taught us how to, Mrs. Joyner taught us how to write in blue books. And she said, when you get to college, you're going to have to write in blue books and you'll be prepared.
Yes.
And she also taught us how to do term reports, making bibliographies and so forth. And I got an A in library, and I was so happy.
Yeah, Miss Marshall, she was, when I look back on my time at Ludlow, I can honestly say she was my favorite teacher too. She was mine.
In 9th grade, we got a new supervisor of English. His name was Mr. Cosby, and he pressured us to enter this book review contest. So I thought about it, and I had written a book called Beethoven, Master Musician.
Okay.
And it inspired me to become a concert pianist.
All right.
And the woman who was the supervisor, the publisher of the newspaper said she was so impressed with this little 9th grade girl who wanted to become a musician that I got the award.
Congratulations.
So the Shakerite, after they got it, it said, Ann Hunter wins book review contest.
Okay.
Best one for the 9th grade in the city of Cleveland.
Well, you know, the historian, the historical librarian, her name is Megan Hayes at the Shaker Library. I'm going to see if they have that Shakerite magazine, cause it might still exist, and I think I'm going to look for that article. Huh?
I'm sorry, I don't know your subject.
Oh, I was saying that for the award, the book review award that you won, I'm going to see if the Shaker Library in the historic department has a copy of
I have one upstairs.
Oh, okay.
It's in one of my scrapbooks.
Okay, well, yes.
And I told them to find it, but
we're going to get to that, because I hear that you are quite a master scrapbook person. A master scrapbook person.
Okay.
So now I'm going to simplify this question. So Shaker still has issues with the academic gap. Black students not necessarily doing as well as white students, and I think there are a lot of things that contribute to that. So do you have any suggestions for what might be the issues around the academic gap? You were a teacher, and you were a student at the Shaker school system. So what do you think might be some of the issues why that there's such a difference between?
What do I think might be the history?
Well, I guess I can use the word problem that exists between black students learning at Shaker and versus white students learning, because black students are still in low numbers in the honors classes, AP classes, as well as the International Baccalaureate. But as a former teacher, student, and parent, what do you think?
I'm not getting the theme. What would I suggest for students coming now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do your homework. Be sure you do all of your homework. Stay off of the computer. If you're having trouble with any subject, stay for counseling.
Yes.
My son tells me that the school is open until 7 o'clock
Okay.
if you want counseling.
Yeah.
Get, what's the verb? Take extracurricular activities such as music, varsity sports, something that will encourage you to do something with a job or vocation when you go after you finish college or while you're in college.
Right. So take advantage, if you will, of everything that Shaker has to offer. Period. Yeah.
It's going down.
Okay. So take advantage of everything that Shaker has to offer at the school.
Right.
Okay.